Hi, everybody. It's Agnes Vivarelli, and this is my guest today, Abby Rhodes. She is a friend of Caitlin, who I've interviewed before. And Caitlin kindly brought the two of us together today. So, hello, Abby.
Hi, howdy from Texas, everyone.
Hello from Texas. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I love, so nice interviewing people from all over the world. You just get just internationals. Wonderful. I love it. Love it. Love
Absolutely
it.
same.
So Caitlin said to me, you have to interview my friend Abby because she has some fantastic manifestations. So that's why you're here today, is to share some stuff with us.
Absolutely, yes.
So, feel free to start with whichever manifestation you want to talk about first. And Abby, if you can tell us the components, like whether you use Neville or law of attraction, what parts of the law of attraction stuff you use, that way people kind of get an idea of how you manifested things. It's really helpful for them.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I think that manifesting personally, we are evolving beings, and it's something that the mind evolves over time. So when you say Neville, you mean like Neville Goddard or
Yes, Neville Goddard. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Um, I know that I've watched some of your videos. I'm a huge fan, by the way. Definitely, I know that you tend to focus more on the romantic relationships, though. Actually, I have a bit of a different story of how I manifested my mentor.
Okay.
So, yeah. So,
Great.
this person, they have trained celebrities, actors that y'all would probably know. So, yeah, this person is amazing. Like, they have built the careers of great men. And my whole thing, 2013, a movie came out and a famous actor came to prominence, and this person was behind the scenes creating this person, what they have now. And I find that so inspiring, and that was what I want. I was on a health kick, and that was the kind of career that I wanted to have. So this person has a Twitter, and then I reached out to them, and they were very nice and very, like, that. I kind of felt like fate brought us together. But then years went by, and I was going through a lot of things. I was going through health issues and finding my way in the world, the blah, 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 all the things that we say to ourselves to distract us from who we are meant to be, and what we want to create in our lives. While this person is out there, like, I'm looking at them and they inspire me, and we always make excuses as to why we don't want to connect on a spiritual and emotional level with that person. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that we have sometimes those emotional blockages. And then finally last year, I just decided to exercising Neville Goddard. Actually,
Yeah.
I was doing I was doing a 90-day, you could say, I guess in America we call it self-help, like self-development program, just breaking free of these emotional and mental blockages, that these walls that we create around ourselves, that we don't even know that we're consciously doing it, though we're subconsciously doing it. I just thought that I was not lovable enough. I was not emotionally intelligent enough to reach out to this person. But then finally I said, why do I believe this about myself? So then I just kind of like threw all that to the curb. And then a couple of months later, we were talking every day for hours a day. And then finally I just got on a plane about 2 months later, and then I met my person in person, and now we have a relationship, and it is the most incredible thing. I get to learn from this person every day.
Lovely.
So yeah, and this person is like, you would probably even know who that person was. Like, such a high caliber, high functioning, just a high level being.
Mm-hmm.
And to think that I was separate from that, I know that that's more mental, if anything, but that Neville Goddard, the success principles, all these things, I have a belief that it all starts with your thoughts. It starts in the mind.
Yeah.
So, and then it travels everywhere. Like, the body feels the pain, and you know, it manifests in so many different ways. It bleeds into everything into your life, if that makes sense. And then finally it's just like, no, I don't want to feel like that anymore. I don't want to think like this anymore. There's no reason for me to think that I am not lovable or that I cannot achieve what I want to achieve in my life. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. So is this to help you in the acting field? Is that what you're getting mentored on? I'm not clear about, I'm just, a little bit unclear.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I guess
No.
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 So excited. Like,
I know what people are going to want to ask. Who is this person? And they're going to also want to know, what are you doing? Like, are you creatively working in the acting field? Like, because I do get a lot of creative people on my channel too, and they love knowing how creative stuff develops. It helps them as well. So you answer as much or as little as you want. Don't feel like you have to.
This person definitely works in the entertainment field more so than I am more interested, or was more interested in the physical training aspects, like fitness and nutrition.
Okay. Yep.
That's more of what, in the beginning, that's what I cared about. Though now it's like, I don't even know. I am also drawn to very creative people. So to be able to watch what they manifest and not just even the creation part of it. They're into directing and writing movies.
Yeah.
So and they're very talented. So I don't know if that's, there's always something that I wanted to explore when I was younger, and maybe that's something that will occur in the future. I'm not very sure.
Yeah.
Though that's more, at least from my perspective. I mean, I'm drawn to it all.
Yeah.
But all of it, yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
great.
because of this person's help, I actually released, I don't like to say lost when we talk about weight, because that we want to find what we lose. At least in my opinion, that's how I like to say that. I released 45 pounds. I don't know what that is in kilos. But
okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. I lost 45 pounds last year from this person's guidance. And I mean, I'm like 5 feet tall. So that's a lot. So I look great. I feel great. Like, I mean, everything, like a whole world was open. I think that we look at things kind of like they are limited, but when you look at things like 360 degrees of clear choice and opportunity and sitting in power with our own choices. I mean, I know that it sounds a little cliche, if you will, but it's completely true. I mean, I just opened myself up to the possibilities that this person would want me to, I want to be this person's PA or personal assistant. So like, this person wants me to be their PA. Like, this person wants me to be around so that I can learn from them. These kinds of affirmations. Yeah. Using and exercising those things, and look at how it bled into the rest of my life.
Yeah. Wonderful. That's a good Manny. That's a good Manny.
Definitely. Probably the one that I'm the most proud of. Definitely. Yeah. And then my parents, like, they love him. Like, so there's definitely like everybody got win-wins. Win-wins are my favorite.
Yeah, win-wins are my favorite. That's a good affirmation. Win-wins are my favorite.
Yeah. Where everybody wins.
Yeah.
You're going to win. Everyone gets a win.
Yeah, that's lovely. That'll be a good affirmation for the people watching. I think because I often get asked, so what affirmations should I do? And it's like, well, you got to create ones that you get inspired by. And that one in particular is such a good general one for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't even, I've been doing this for so long. Like, The Secret came out, I think, in 2006. I picked it up in 2007. And I think that it's great. It's just like, it's not the Neville Goddard. It's not the, and anything that is more in depth, like it goes over the flowery parts of it, but there's a lot of mental work, a lot of emotional, highly spiritual work that has to be done too.
Yeah.
So when I went back and I did that and revisited all of these things, like the affirmations, it's great, like I am lovable, I am worthy, I am powerful, I am a creator, I am, you know what I'm saying? I say these things to myself daily now.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I had to start somewhere different that evoked the feeling that at least felt better. So when I said I am open to a relationship with this person, I am open to having that relationship with myself, I am open to honesty, feeling better, feeling at a higher vibration. That personally, because I was at a place where I was feeling so low in my
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
that was where I had to start. And some people think that they have to jump from like feeling super low to feeling so high. It's
Yeah.
not about that. It's
No.
about getting from point A to point B, in the journey in between, because you don't just magically show up at point B.
Mm.
So I think a lot of people, I mean, at least that's my personal opinion. I would
Yeah.
love to hear your opinion about that. I mean, it's like that ladder of
Yeah. Yeah.
feeling better and getting to that higher vibration.
And
Sure.
then you have access to greater, how would I say it? Thoughts that are more, they expand into you being able to allow greater manifestations, not just cups of coffee, parking spots, and having a friend buy you lunch. There's nothing wrong with those things, but you know, we want to have meaningful work. We want to have, whether it's money or healthy bodies or a fabulous relationship with somebody, whether it's in a mentor capacity or whether it is a romantic relationship. All those things require us, like you say, to go up the ladder in firstly how we think, which then changes the state we're in and the emotions we experience. So it's like when you're really low, you can't access those higher thoughts. It is like you go up levels of it to be able to get there.
Absolutely. I'm opening a business. I opened my business on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And yeah, I I started it with absolutely no funding at all.
Yeah.
And then it's just so funny because I got a photographer out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I got money out of nowhere from multiple sources, which was imperative in me being able to open the business. You see what I'm like? I didn't even quite verbalize to these people who were generous donors. I didn't even say, I want your money, like, give it to me, please. It was just, like I'm saying to people, I'm putting it out into the universe. This is what I need. This is, because I think another thing that's important, especially when any of you who are opening a business, you have to be exceptionally clear about what you want to do. And again, like, my business has evolved over time. Like, it was an idea, and then now it has turned into something much bigger and better than what I intended it to be, though you also have to be clear about where you want to start.
Yeah.
So because I was clear about that, and I mean, I saw it clear as day, the kind of things that I wanted to do, the resources I have started to pour in, and they're not stopping.
Yeah.
So definitely, like, I know that that's not manifesting people, though. Manifesting finances, absolutely. Like,
yeah.
what I do is important in the world. Who I am is invaluable. I cannot be replaced. Like, these
Yeah.
They have evolved further.
Fabulous. What can you share with people what your business is?
Yes, definitely. So for those of you watching, I live in Austin, Texas. My business is called Embrace Your Face. You can find me on Instagram, EYF Beauty. I do chemical peels, facial treatments.
Okay.
Yeah, like I can just burn your face off,
That's fantastic. Actually, Abby, we'll put the links to what you do down below, because there is some people from Texas that I do know are on my channel and come to me for coaching. So
awesome.
There you go.
Well, come on down.
Come on down.
Come on down.
Lovely.
Texas two-stepping. That's always
two-stepping?
Yes, girl, yes. You know how fun that is? Oh,
no,
man.
I don't. Can't say I've ever done that before.
It's not easy at least for me. I love to dance. It's not easy, but oh my God, it is so much fun.
Yeah.
You meet the craziest people. Well, Austin is crazy. You meet the craziest people.
Okay.
Yeah, come on
down. Cool. Well, we will earmark that for another date. Abby, can I ask, what's your background? What's your family background?
Oh, yes. Oh, gosh. Here we go. So, so I was born here in Texas. I was born in Houston. I was adopted. So
Yeah.
my adoption was prearranged. I was born into a Pakistani family, a Muslim family, and was adopted into a white family.
Okay.
So I grew up on the East Coast. Then I've moved to Texas multiple times. I've lived everywhere down here, but yeah, I got family that's down here. So my biological family lives in Texas as well. So
oh, okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. And that's another thing to go along with, like, the affirmations. Growing up with people in an area of the world where there were no people who looked like me, and I did not look like my family. It was exceptionally difficult to, those abandonment issues growing up and looking at how that manifests in your life. That was also something that I had to work through as an adult, as a spiritually, emotionally enlightened adult, having to do that kind of work. Like, I am worthy. I am open to relationships with men and women that are functional and full of love.
Yes.
These kinds of things.
Yeah.
So that, I'm sure that's where that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Because my relationship with my family, both of my family, because I have a relationship with my biological family, it has not always been easy. Definitely, all of us come into terms with what happened in establishing my place in the relationship with my younger siblings, who are were all fully biological. My relationship with both sets of my parents, who divorced at the same time a couple of years ago, that was a hoot. But being the glue to both of these families, I hope anyone who is watching who is adopted knows, like, any of the things that happen with both of your families is not your fault. It is never going to be your fault. People are gonna do things. This is what happens in families. Relationships, they either break apart, or they dissipate, or you're gonna have relationship issues with pretty much anyone in your family. So it's a matter of remembering. Again, like, it always goes back to these affirmations. I'm telling you, like, I am worthy. I am open to something different. I'm open to something better.
Yes.
Like, no matter how your family treats you. I don't know why I'm feeling compelled to say this. Who needs to hear that? But it's being adopted, definitely, especially when your parents don't look like you. It was definitely something difficult, and another added dimension to the human experience, and having to learn how to love myself, to be quite blunt. I mean, just great. I'm just great. Even though it was exceptionally difficult, I'm so grateful for the experience of being able to do that.
And it gives you such compassion and understanding for other people that walk that path.
Absolutely.
You will always know what they feel because you've been there. And that's, always the things we walk as we are little and into teenagehood. Those really difficult things are often the gifts and the gems that get polished up. And those are the gifts that we often end up giving on to other people.
I think it's, some people think that I'm crazy when I say this, though. To be honest, these days, I just accept adversity. I accept the challenge that comes with any kind of terrible event that I've lived in my life. I think I've come to a point with affirmations and proving myself as a master manifester, that I can move through the event, the tragic event, and mine the lessons that I have learned from these events. And when I go back and revisit the event, sometimes when we wallow in it, when we swim in it, we do feel the pain, and the feelings of suffering come back up. But it doesn't have to be like that. When I look at all these new feelings and all these, how much deeper I've gone into the human consciousness, and being able to pull to myself exactly what I need. Like my mentor, like that person is one of the biggest parts of my life. This business that I'm opening right now, opening on Tuesday.
Yeah.
This is something like, look at all the finances that I've probably brought like $1,500 to myself, and that it hasn't stopped. You know,
Lovely.
like just, yeah, you know, like just by saying like, just choosing to feel something better.
Yes.
Being open to feeling something better.
Yeah.
Because when you go through so many things that are so terrible, I mean, we are not even skimming the surface of the kind of things that I have lived in my life. You know, car accidents, being bedridden, not knowing if I was ever going to walk or drive a car again.
Yeah.
You know, that being so broke that I starved that night. You know, like these are the things that I have lived, and then just being able to not be angry about it anymore, being able to accept in the moment that this is where I am.
Yeah.
And that there is something better out there. There are all kinds of scenarios that are better out there, and just being able to move through the moment, take what I learned, and move into the next moment.
Yeah.
I think that's what the human experience is all about. And
yeah.
A lot of people get confused by that. But
yeah. And also, like you're saying, when you're living those moments, it's like how important the surrender and letting the feelings pass through rather than holding on to them. Because we all get stuff. We're emotional beings. We're not robots. So we're always going to be attracting something. And, you know, as we learn more, we become more knowledgeable. That's one level, but it's the application, the applying what we learn, that is where we really see where stuff, you know, where this is made of amazing stuff. And yeah, it doesn't mean we don't have challenges anymore. It's like you say, you just have the confidence to go, okay, didn't quite see that coming in that state, but hey, I'm a conscious creator, and I know that I will fine tune whatever the heck I've been doing in my head and in my emotions, and I will let it pass through. And I think that's been one of the greatest things for me, Abby, is when something happens and I get an emotional hit, I don't have to hang on to it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 6 months, or a year. You can just literally drop it, surrender, and let it out of your body. Just let it go.
Oh my God.
And it's a skill, isn't it? Because it's almost like no one ever said hang on to it, but it's somehow we just do that.
We do. And I can speak for my own self. We don't have to go I don't know what your viewers have been through or the things that they have experienced in their life. I was sexually assaulted multiple times in my childhood, and my teenage years, even in my young adult life. In every stage of my life, I have experienced that. 4 years ago, I was in a series of car accidents. Like I said, they just completely destroyed my life, and I was very angry at the people who ran into me.
Yeah.
And it was a set of freak circumstances, all these things, and then, you know, adding into like the poverty that I have experienced. You know, it is all of these things. I'm not saying this to brag on myself. I'm just saying these things because when you live through so many things, and every single person who is going to watch this has been through something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what all those events are. I was holding on to those things, and I could even thinking about I was Melissa Bauman in the church. I'm thinking about it right now, and I can remember it clear as day. But the thing is that like I have now realized I owe it to myself, and I owe it to the world not to hold on to that. Like when you walk into a hotel that's all nice and clean and fresh, you've never been there before, there's someone there who either takes your luggage or you drop your luggage, and then they'll neatly unpack your stuff, and then it goes where it's supposed to go. It's not you're not designed to hold on to this big old heavy thing. Why do you think that luggage has wheels? You know, like really, we can't forget, you know, we live this thing. Like I personally don't believe we get over things. We get through them. You can take what has happened, learn from these things, and again, go deeper into that human experience, into what you were put here to do, that gift, that gifts, plural talents that you have. and apply it to those things. So that I call it PSE, perfect self-expression, because when you perfectly express yourself, you're giving that gift to the world that is you. And there is no reason to hide, to withhold yourself from the world. Terrible things are going to continue to happen. Just like how you said, when you take that emotional hit, there's so many different things that are going to happen, and we cannot protect ourselves from those things. But what we can do is take those tools in our toolbox and apply them when we take the hit, so that we can continue to be because look at all the thousands and thousands of views that you've had on your channel. What if you weren't able to move through what you went through in your life, and we would not have these things? We would not have the gift that is you. Like, so many people would be out there, and they would be suffering right now, because you have brought people to this emotional, spiritual work, and that they would not have known otherwise. So we need people to be doing this work, and it's hard, you know, like sometimes like we hold on to things for years or months or weeks, though as we develop that toolbox, go back, look at the lessons that we learned, and add tools into the box, we can move through these things so much quicker. So I'm done with church now.
No. You know what? The tangents are what always make a YouTube good. So, you know, because it comes from the heart. So yeah, follow the tangents when they come up. So okay, going back to manifesting.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Because that sometimes, like you say, you get compelled to say something, and it is often for someone.
Definitely.
So yeah. So okay, you manifested this amazing mentor, and you're starting this business.
Yes.
What other? I mean, do you want to talk about another manifestation? Do you want to talk?
Sure, definitely. I have done a dangerous dance with homelessness multiple times in the past 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And every single time that I entered into the dance, it was always a matter of the universe has provided for me now to get me to this point. And while I don't like to be at this point, every single need that I've ever had has always been met. I have always been, you know, like, again, maybe I didn't have something to eat the other night ago, but I've always, you know, I have something. I just ate a couple of hours ago. You know, I ate something today. I've never gone a day without eating. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I have always had something. Like, thank you, universe, for giving me that, for getting me to where I am right now. Thank you for giving me a chance to go to college. Thank you for giving me a chance to meet these people so that I can expand the knowledge that I have now. You know, like those sound very random, but when you're in a dire situation like that, you do have to kind of go random and select, you know, these types of affirmations and draw upon what you already have in these kinds of experiences. So I actually, I was, that night that I'm thinking of, this was about 1.5 years ago. I did not know where I was going to go at that point. And literally, like, this is the craziest. I was, the University of Texas is here in Austin, one of the largest colleges in the United States. And this woman, I don't know, I had never met her before. I didn't know who she was. She just came out of nowhere. There was an email that was sent to people. It's like a network of people who would house international students if they were coming just for a visit to, you know, like to visit the school. And I did not even know that I was put on that list. Okay. Someone that I was kind to put me on that list and didn't tell me.
Wow.
So then, like, the blast goes out, and then this woman who is so kind and sweet, her name is Christine. I will always love this woman. She took me in for like a month and charged this ridiculously low rate for me to stay with her, because she knew what was going on, the gravity of the situation.
Yeah.
So I always remember that, because that was a time in my life. I was going to UT for a college course, and that something that I had really, really, really wanted to do for like 5 years. And what had happened, I got kicked out of the place that I was living at, because I had had an argument with this person. I didn't like the way that this person was treating me.
Okay.
So I brought it to the attention of this person, and they didn't like that. And then they said, get out.
Okay.
So it was just like, it was just this crazy thing. Like, I mean, how could you? I don't know if any of your viewers have ever been through something like that, but if you have, you know what that's like. That is a very high stakes, very highly emotional, state to be in. It's not where you want to be.
Yeah.
So being able to grab for things to be thankful for, gratitude, again, like, I truly believe that is the best weapon of love that you could ever have. And exercising that love and gratitude brought me this stranger, really, I don't believe spiritually that she's a stranger, but this kind soul who took me in.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just the most amazing thing. One of my favorite manifestations, because it's very easy to not keep calm in a situation like that. But when you stay focused and you are going deep inside and drawing that person to you. I mean, because of this person, I graduated from that program, and now I'm certified to teach English anywhere in the world. So it's that's very liberating, especially what's going on in this country right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I know that's not quite, maybe it's not money, it's not a person per se, though it was a situation that I needed, but that was definitely something. That's one of my manifestations that I am most proud of.
Lovely.
For sure.
Yeah. That's wonderful. And I think too, it's nice having, multiple things that you can do. You've started this business, but also having that as something that if you just go, you know what, I'm going to take off for a while, going to go live in another country, and I'm just going to, you can, because you've got something now that's of value to other people.
Oh gosh,
so,
the whole thing of life, at least for me, is how can I assist other people? How can I help other people?
Yeah.
Again, if we're not living in that state of perfect self-expression, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
Some people are figuring it out. Granted, I understand that, though. It's just like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Yeah.
Yeah, and having fun, enjoying our lives, doing what we were put here to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've had many moments in my probably 20s and 30s where I've been, doing some work or doing something, and then I look around and I go, who are these people? They're not my flock. And then going, what am I doing here? I don't even like this work. This has got no meaning to me. This is unmeaningful. What am I doing here? How did I get here? I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here now. And just that, where you just feel really trapped, and that feeling trapped is not going to get you out. You got to untrap yourself. You got to feel free to get out of there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you do appreciate when you do have meaningful work. Boy, oh boy, all those times when you didn't have it, it makes this, when you're doing your meaningful work, even sweeter.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. You've had some,
interesting moments in my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you've had some good moments.
But yeah, I made a challenge. Here's another one. Like, I made a challenge to myself when I was doing that 90-day self-development program. I had about $3,300 left on my car for a loan that, I needed to pay off that car loan, and I had no idea where that money was going to come out of. Though I just I'm a Muslim. We don't like debt of any kind. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, I got to get rid of this so that I can boost my credit score or whatever. So I just sent it to my subconscious, didn't think about it that much, just wanted to do the work that was put before me. And, if you can't, don't ruminate on things that aren't serving you, send it to your subconscious. It'll always find a way to work things out for you. About a month and a half after I set that goal, I get a call from someone in my family. They said that there were, back in the day, I don't know if people are still doing this anymore, that you can buy bonds. and the bonds grow over time.
Yeah.
And they accrue interest, and the amount that I had accrued up until that point was enough money to pay off that loan and then some.
Nice.
And they asked me if I wanted it, and I was like, yes, I want that. So then, like, just like that,
Yeah.
I mean, my loan was paid off, and then my credit score went up 100 points.
Fantastic.
So, you know, it's always like, I always think of like the little things that I think are big, and then people hear things like that and they're like, oh, how did you do that?
Yeah.
You know, it's just really not thinking about it, ruminating on it. Again, your subconscious is always gonna, you know, like figure it out, especially when you're in the vibration of this is gonna be taken care of. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Like, I can sit here and think about it, think myself into all these sinkholes, but then how am I going to get back out? I lost all that time when I could be out there doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Exactly. And I agree with you about money and not having debt. You know, I just think credit cards and loans exist because people don't believe they can create money. That's why those companies exist. And once we get evolved enough that we know we can create and we do it, those institutions will become dinosaurs and they will evaporate and die because they are only there because of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I was $36,000 in debt when I just couldn't sleep and couldn't eat because it was making me sick. And I had to, you know, a day at a time, not go into debt and really take responsibility for what the heck I had done to myself. And then spent that time working my way out of debt. And I don't owe anyone anything, and I never am going back there. It's just one of those things that feels so good to not have that thing on your shoulders every morning. I owe debt. Like, I've got a credit card. I use it because I can buy stuff online, and that same day I transfer the money and it's done. It's like I now trust myself to use it because there's a 24-hour turnaround on every single thing I pay. Every bill that comes in and gets paid within 24 hours. It feels so great to just be totally energetically free of owing anyone anything. It's brilliant.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah. So I know that you've probably addressed this in one of your videos. When just entertain me for a second.
Yes, go ahead, darling.
When you were getting out of debt, the way I did it, again, like just opening myself up to the thought, I don't have any debt, like not even getting to that point, because it's like you still have to acknowledge like you have the debt right now. Like, I'm not going to go into denial about it though. Again, for me, it was just like, I really and truly believe that this is going to be taken care of. I acknowledge that it's there, and at least for today, there's nothing that I can do about it right now. You know, like I'll make a dent at it here and a dent at it there. That's my plan for right now. But I trust that like the universe is going to take care of my needs. Like, I've sent it out there. I'm not going to worry about it. Let me just send it out there to you. And then, you know, is this the kind of approach that you took as well?
I did it in the beginning. I wasn't able to do that because by the time I hit $36,000, I couldn't breathe. So I couldn't let it go. But what I did do was I made a decision. I will not go into debt for this day. And then I will, little by little, clean up my mess. So it was arresting the behavior and the thoughts of, because it was almost like the less money I had, the more debt I had, the more I felt this compulsion that I wanted everything. Where it's like, now that I've paid off all the debt, I don't feel this need to buy stuff anymore. Because I know I can. So I just, you know, when I want something, I buy it, but I'm not out there looking to buy all the time like I was before, because I felt so deprived. So it changes your desire for stuff, or your desire for, it's like now I'll go and get a massage, or I'll buy myself a nice candle, or, you know, I'll go to the organic food shop and I'll buy myself, you know, $100 or £100 worth of really good food, because that's part of my well-being. So I'm spending money on my well-being. So those things, I think that's part of my self-love today, is really allowing myself to buy those things. Whereas before I'd buy it and I'd feel guilty because I knew I couldn't afford it. So yeah, it took time to change that one. It took at least 15 years for me to get out of that mindset of I'm deprived. I can't have anything. So I'm just going to get it anyway on credit. You know, this thing.
Yeah, I'm asking because I was a compulsive overeater for
So you're talking about 12-step.
Yes.
12-step fellowships. Yeah, I went to
yeah.
Al-Anon for 25 years, and I went to Codependence Anonymous for a long time. And then I went to Debtors Anonymous for time as well. So I do believe that the 12 steps really help people to start to get off, you know, that plateau, and it is a mental plateau.
Yes, it is. Yes. Because it's not a I don't know if the 12 steps are a be all end all, though I mean I highly suggest it for people who are seeking to learn personal responsibility, though you're absolutely right. I was eating to fill a void. But there's only so much that you can eat, and it's just like you know, I mean, I was spending money that I didn't have to eat, though it was just like I was looking to self-soothe myself, and like you were saying, like I wanted to, I guess, like knowing that that choice was available to me, though everything is always available to you, including a higher vibrational thought. So like spend the money on food that actually makes you feel good and allows you to do what you should be doing, rather than, you know, like, and like for me it was carbs, and going into a carb coma is, you know, as most of us have experienced, it's effective in turning ourselves off on the inside, though it's not pleasurable, spiritually pleasurable experience, you know. So
well, Abby, I'm half French and half Italian, so a carb, what did you call it? A carb what?
Carb coma.
Yeah, carb coma kind of is the whole state, the whole country of France and Italy is in a carb coma.
Oh my God.
It's like I had to move countries to get away from it. I live in Australia now. Well, I live in Australia and half in London, half and half. So I can get away from the carbs. You know, it's not at every restaurant, every cafe, everybody's house.
Oh my God. I've been all those places too. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, man. There was a time when I thought that eating a French fry in France was like the coolest thing in the world. Y'all didn't need to know that. But.
No, why not? It's you know, it's good to share those little tidbits. It's important. Well, we've got about 15 minutes left. Is there anything else you wanna throw in?
See, like when I think too hard, like I'm thinking so hard, like, oh my God, like what do people need to hear? Like what is on my heart that needs to come out?
Yeah.
Manifestation, really, I've got to be completely blunt with you. The thing about manifestation is that it was not until just recently, in the past couple of years, that I really learned the art of, and I'm still doing it. Like we are all expert manifestors, because of what we have in our life is the sum of what we have been thinking.
Yeah.
Though to get past those mental barriers and those spiritual blocks of I deserve the things that I want, and stepping into the feeling of having those things, again, as that is key to get those things. It's just it is a journey.
Yes.
And we experience time linearly, so it's, you know, we're here, we start from here, and then we're here. And I find that oftentimes, like I said, like we always want to get to point B without having the journey of going from point A to point B.
Yeah.
And I can say that the journey is the best part of all.
Yes.
It really is. And being able to say, I've reconciled the situation. The chapter is closed on that. Now I am moving into something different.
Yeah.
I've been in need of chiropractic care. I highly suggest finding a literate chiropractor wherever you are. The things that you store in your spine, energetically, vibrationally, you would be shocked.
Yeah.
I've been in twice to see a chiropractor. I manifested a chiropractor that I trust, which is amazing and incredible. I mean, just even the slightest adjustments, like I've realized the things that I have held within my body, things that I thought were gone, are still there.
Yeah.
Like they're still there. So being able to being able to release these things, like I just, whether it's going to a meeting or going to, you know,
Yep.
to go pay off some debt, whatever that thing is. I mean, I highly suggest that. But anyway,
Yeah.
I was talking to him, and he's like, yeah, the trauma that we store in our bodies, I mean, we keep things inside that you don't even know.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've always wanted to do is be a professional dancer.
Yeah.
And I haven't told a lot of people that, though. It's just, look at how that manifested into my life, like not being able to move, not being able to pole dancing is one of the things that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of laughable, but whatever.
No, why not? Why not?
Yeah, well, yeah, seriously though, why not? And again, like, why not be open? Why not be open to the fact that, you know, there are people out there who want to help you, people out there who want to hear what you have to say, people who want to watch you do what you do. You deserve these things.
Yeah.
You deserve those things.
Yeah. And you know, Abby, I was a professional dancer for quite a long time. So it's funny you bring that up. Yeah. Yeah. My background is a diploma in performing arts, and I majored in dance. That's what I went to uni for. And it doesn't matter what style of dance. Dance is such a great way to release stuff out of the body and to feel an inspiration where you lose track of time.
Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, doing an activity where you lose all track, like any sense of time and space. That's where you want to be.
Yeah.
So, like, I just, you know, I just highly suggest releasing those things out of your body, because this is like a new revelation for me, being able to release those things, because like he would adjust me and then I started crying, and then like he did it again and then I started laughing. It's just amazing what we store within our bodies. And I things that I thought were gone were not gone. No, did you go to school in England, or did you?
No. I went to school. I was in Canada till I was 17, and I'd moved there from France when I was little. And then my parents immigrated to Australia when I was 17. And I basically did my last year of high school in Australia, in Sydney. And then I went on to do and when I first got to Australia, university was free. So, and I was the very last year to go through for free. And I was halfway through my university, which was 2 years diploma. And they said, next year is the last year for free. So if you were if you were going through a 4-year degree and you did 2 years, you had to pay for the last 2. So I just got in and I went through, finish my final year, and the next year they made people pay. So I had 2 years of dance where that's all we did. The first year we did drama and dance. The second year we did dance, and you majored in what style of dance you wanted to major in. And then I went on and I created a dance show that toured schools in the outback of Australia where there was lots of underprivileged kids. So I did that for years until I tore my hamstring and completely screwed my body from overworking. But it was really fun.
Amazing. Yeah.
It was fun. You know, I mean, I wouldn't work professionally now because, you know, I don't have any desire to do that now, but I still love going out dancing and still enjoy music and dance. I just know I was born in the wrong culture, because the French and the Italian culture are not big on the styles of dance and music that I like. So I have to go to other cultures, which is often the South American countries or the African countries, to get the music that I love. And that was what I spent my time learning from those people. And it's just such a major part of who I am. And it will always be. It's one of my absolute top favorite creative expressions, and will always be. Yeah. So it's interesting that we're on the same page about that.
Yes, absolutely. Again, come on down, Texas Tuesday.
Come on down. I haven't been to the US for quite a long time. I mean, I lived in Canada on Vancouver Island for a long time. So we used to, you know, it's really close because the Vancouver Island hangs down partly near the US. So, but yes, maybe a trip to the US at some point. Who knows? I just like a tumbleweed, see where the wind blows.
Yeah, well, we got lots of tumbleweeds out here too. So appropriate.
I love tumbleweeds. I love them. They're such a great symbol of allowing and going with the flow. I've always thought when I see those, I thought they get it. They get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The American Beauty, you know, the plastic bag.
Yes.
Plastic bag floating in the wind. I was at a nail salon and they were playing the song. Like I heard the song, like it's like the theme from the movie.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite songs in the world. And I was like, what if I turned around and saw a plastic bat? And then of course I turned around and there was a plastic bag floating. I mean, it was
floating around.
The funniest thing. That's actually happened to me multiple times.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I love all those little, you know, cues that mean things just to you. It just means something to you, and the universe hears everything, and it photocopies everything that you're thinking, feeling, and doing. And it's such a wonderful thing to know. If you consciously select the tumbleweed, the plastic bag, the amazing relationship, the lots of money, the amazing meaningful work, that comes forward.
Yes.
Absolutely. Love it. I love it.
Yesterday I was going to a movie with a friend, and I hadn't, because I've been so focused on opening my business, I haven't had a lot of time to nurture relationships with people who care about me.
Yeah.
And getting into a place of being present, and at the same time of being present, expressing gratitude in Texas in January, February, March. It's called the Violet Crown. When the sun sets, they are the most beautiful sunsets, like the most vibrant colors, shades of purple.
Yeah.
And I was driving to the movies. Of course, I went to the wrong movie theater. It didn't matter, but I'm watching the sunset, and it was 75 degrees. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it was very warm.
Okay.
And it like just the weather was perfect, and the sun is setting, and I'm driving there, and I'm watching the sunset, and I'm just crying. Like I'm crying so hard, like the ugly cry, but it's a beautiful cry.
Yeah.
Because I am so grateful that I'm having the human experience right now, that I'm able to watch this sunset. I can smell the rain in the air. We had rain last night, but I love that smell.
Yeah.
Like, it comes like, I'm so in love with this, and I'm so grateful. Even though there's a lot of chaos going around, I have the power to enjoy this moment right now.
Yeah.
And that's a part of my experience.
Yeah.
And it could have not been, and it is. And look at what every single event in my life has led me up to this moment, where I'm looking at all these beautiful shades of orange, pink, yellow, purple. This beautiful moment was set up just for me. And I have brought this into my life. You know, a year ago, I would not even have cared.
Yeah.
The most incredible, amazing thing, you know, like to be able to just enjoy connecting with the world through nature. And I'm just in awe of this. And this happens every single day. And I had the realization that the same sun that is setting right now is the same sun that my mentor is sitting under. You know, my Caitlin, who is my sister.
Yeah.
You know, she's my entire world. I love her.
Yeah.
All the people who I have met in my life, who I love, even though they live on all these different continents, we all share the same sky.
Yeah.
All of us. And that was just it doesn't sound like it was a big moment, though it was an enormous moment. And I get to have more of those.
Yeah.
You know, the option is there for me to enjoy every single moment just like that.
Yeah.
So my imparting.
Lovely. That's great. And you know what? I'm glad we didn't talk about a specific person or relationships today, because I don't want to be doing just that on my channel. Happy to talk about that subject, but I do want to talk about other stuff, because that's how the channel started. It was to talk about lots of different things manifesting in different areas. And so I'm really glad that you brought up all those other manifestations today, because you know, our lives aren't just relationships. Our lives are so much more than that. Yes, relationship with ourselves, but it's that relationship with ourselves that creates meaningful work, that creates money, that creates travel, that creates the journey that's a wonderful day, you know. So I'm really glad.
Yes.
Yep. Certainly
it all
does.
starts with you.
Beautiful. Now, Abby, people are going to, once I upload this, post comments and things. Are you willing to chat with people in the thread of the YouTube if they ask you questions and pop in every now and again and have a look?
Yes.
Cool. Because it's nice when they can ask you stuff directly, and, you know, because
Absolutely.
people will always resonate with one person, and that person will just want to talk to you. So
yes, of course. Like these are the kind of conversations that we all need to be having. So definitely, like anything that I can do to clarify. There was so much stuff. So like,
that's good. That's good. Oh, lots of stuff was exactly perfect. And, you know, this is how our lives are. They're a mixed bag of nuts. It's, you know, it's everything. It's not just, you know, perfectly glossed over everything. It's exactly how we share this interview today. This is how it all comes out. So, yeah. Well, thank you, Abby.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
so
it's good.
much.
And I'd love to hear, you know, maybe in a year's time we do another interview. You can share part 2, because it's nice to have people back again. And, you know, when you feel like you've got some stuff you want to talk about, just shoot me through an email and we'll do another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my time with you.
So exciting. Yes, I love to speak with people about these things and getting other perspectives too.
Yeah.
Super important.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, can you hang on and we'll I'll just talk to you behind the scenes.
Yes, please.
Bye,
Absolutely.
everybody.
Bye.